country music superstar. He's out on tour all over the road right now. He knows how to roll with it, and pretty much his music's on the radio like clockwork. If you don't know who I'm talking about right now, it's this guy, Mercury Nashville recording artist Easton Corbin. Easton, welcome to Albuquerque.
Yeah, man, thank you for having me.
You're a Florida guy. I'm a Florida guy.
I am.
You get off the bus, what's the first thing you think of when you get to New Mexico?
You know, desert.
Desert?
That's when I think of New Mexico, desert. But you know, it's a lot more beautiful than just that too, as well.
It's good. It's good stuff. You grew up in Florida. This is what
I
love.
did.
You're a Florida guy. You grew
I'm
up
a
just little-
flatlander, so this is not exactly what I'm used to.
This is totally different. Do you appreciate the beauty of the mountains? You a mountain or beach guy? What do you like?
You know, for me, I love the mountains during hunting season. I love them, but when it gets hot, man, I love to go to the beach. I mean, I'm from Florida. You know, a lot of people think of the beach from Florida, but there's a lot of agriculture there as well.
Yes. You're from Gilchrist County,
Gilchrist
Florida.
County, the smallest county, state of Florida.
It is Central Florida, and for people who don't know, to talk about this, Central Florida is not beachy Florida. It's not sexy. It's not Miami.
Well, no, you're exactly right. It's not palm trees and beaches, which there are some there, but it's mainly agriculture and a lot of farming.
Okay. You went to University of Florida. You picked a really good school there, a fellow Gator. You majored in, what do you call this, ag business?
Ag business.
Is that just a fancy way of saying, like, I played around with, like, cow patties for 4 years and got a degree?
You know, probably so, but I'll make it sound hard. But no, it's you know, it's basically a business degree with an agriculture you know, background.
Okay, so how much of this agriculture, you were a big FFA when you were a kid, how much of that, your degree and all, you put into your music, which is really traditional country music?
I think, you know, the reason I went to the University of Florida and went to the ag education part there is because that's all part of how I grew up. You know, I grew up on a small cattle farm. I grew up part of FFA and 4-H and showing cattle. So, you know, I think that all encompasses in my music and my background and where I come from.
What's the worst FFA cattle show and horror story you got from growing up?
Man, I tell you, I went livestock judging in Quincy, Florida, and I think I done the worst out of everybody.
You're judging, or your cow's being judged?
No, I was judging.
So what do you look for? What do you look for in a heifer?
In a heifer.
In a heifer.
Well, you know, all kind of stuff, man. I mean, we could go into a whole.
I
we could go into a whole
understand.
thing here.
I understand.
Trust me.
So when you go to Nashville and you have this traditional country music, and a lot of people these days, they're going pop, they're going some kind of weird stuff, not traditional. Do you feel pressure, especially as you were trying to make it, as you're trying to get a record deal, to try to conform to that?
You know, I think the important thing when you're an artist and you're making music, you got to be true to who you are. And traditional country for me is who I am, and you know, I wave that flag proudly. And but you know, country music it is a very wide format, and there's a lot of different sounds for different people. But you know, for me, I'm sticking with the traditional country part.
So no highlighting the hair, no waxing the eyebrows anytime soon?
No highlighting
That's good.
the hair, no
That's
waxing.
really good. That's good. Let's talk about your music for a little bit. Everybody knows some of your hits. We talked about them. Roll With It. I'm a little more country than that. You had some big #1s right off the bat. You got a new single out. It's called Clockwork.
Like clockwork. We do have a new single out. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I relate to this song really, really well, because it's like guy wants girl, guy goes after girl, girl ditches guy. And then repeat.
Well, you know, if you watch the video, she kind of, well,
yeah, I want to talk about the video in a second. That's a whole other topic.
You know, that's one of the big reasons I cut this song is, first of all, I love the melody of it, and I think everybody can relate to it.
Okay, so what's the video? How does this process go? You're in Nashville, because you have two of the prettiest women I have ever seen in this video. Do you do some of the casting? You're like, no, bingo.
You know, I give all the credit to my director. He's done a great job so far, and so I just leave it all up to him.
Okay. And then when you're shooting it, some of the scenes you get pretty close.
Well,
how awkward is that?
I'll put it this way: it's pretty awkward at times. I mean, you got like 30 people watching you,
and you're basically making out with a girl in a bra.
Well, it's funny because you know the way they kind of put it together, it really looks like continuously. But trust me, the director's like sitting there telling me like, do this, do that. So it's not real fluid. Trust me.
Does it make you self-conscious? Like you're thinking like, oh God, like I just can't do this. This is like something that is very natural, but I just can't do it right.
You probably wish you hadn't went and ate McDonald's the day before. Trust me. Yeah.
Last thing, so Clockwork, new single, you got a new album. When's it coming out? What are we gonna see on it?
You know, it's funny. I'm not sure when the release drop of that is, but hopefully maybe maybe early winter, something like that.
Early
late
winter?
fall.
Perfect time for the holidays?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Easton Corbin, thank you so much for coming
Thank
to
you,
Albuquerque. I appreciate it very much. Best of luck to you, buddy.
Absolutely.